Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session. I'm Ruchita, your host. Did you know our bodies had a main clock and multiple other individual clocks? Our lifestyle directly impacts these clocks. We'll also be understanding what is the NEAT, Need Index, all this and much, much more. To begin the session, it is my honor and privilege to invite Farooq Tarapur on this virtual stage. He, ladies and gentlemen, is an Olympian, two-time world champion in sailing, and has had an active sporting career of 40 years. He's won innumerable awards, including the Chhatrapati Shivaji Award and the Arjuna Award. But most importantly, he's a mentor to each and every one of us on the group with the mission Har Ghar Healthy, Har Ghar Medicine. Please, let's welcome him on this virtual stage, guys, and listen to him very, very carefully.
Thank you, Ruchita, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to this exciting Monday session. Today, we are going to be talking about basically circadian rhythm and NEAT. And, I often say that I hope you had an early dinner and did some exercise, because there is nothing worse than having a late night dinner and then going to sleep, or even a late night dinner and then probably not even going to sleep. But just a late night dinner can really impact your overall gut health. And the result will be a overall bad holistic health, which will lead to several other problems. So please understand this and try to follow this regime. No, it's not so difficult to eat eat before 6:30 or 7 o'clock at the latest and be done with it, so that you give your body a lot of time for your lysosomes to work on all your bad cells. Now, if you eat late at night, what do you think is going to happen? Your lysosomes are going to feast on the stuff that you have eaten late, and hence won't have a chance to cleanse your body. I mean, I give you a simple example. Yesterday, I was stuck at the airport late at night. A lot of people started giving me advice, buy a sandwich, do this, do that. And I said, yeah. But to be honest, I didn't pick up a sandwich because I knew that picking up that sandwich would not be in the best interest of my health. Now, you got one body and you need to, look after it like a temple. You don't get second chances over here. And it doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor, whether whether you got power, whether you're a politician, it doesn't just matter. You have to look after your body because your health is your best asset. Today, you're going to be listening from somebody, okay, who had this whole thing out of whack. And that's why, I always like to listen to people who probably had been on both sides of the scale. So listen to Veda very carefully, because being a top executive, she assumed that she did not have time. Yeah, use the word she assumed. But when she realized that these things were important for her health and decided to make a change her health around, she could do it quite easily, in fact. And what an amazing transformation journey she has had. I mean, if you see her before and after photographs, they're just amazing. So listen to Veda very carefully, because she will have a tremendous impact if you listen to her on your holistic health. Over to you, Veda.
Thank you so much, Farooq, and all thanks to your guidance that we are here today, having a better health for ourselves. Well, yes, as Farooq mentioned, I definitely didn't have any sense of timing for eating, sleeping. Exercise was not even part of my regime. That was how it used to be. Because yes, I was working 15 hours a day, had a family to look after, and I'm sure every one of us is in a similar boat, right? Because things may not change as much. But you know what? When you're aware of what is the impact and what are those small changes that you can do, you start taking. So awareness is the first step, so awareness is the first stage that helps you start taking those small steps. And in this community, well, today we're going to be talking about body clock. Yes, just like your day night 24-hour clock, our body also has a clock. It's not that it keeps working all throughout. Your brain has the main clock, and then the different organs, different systems, etc., work slightly differently based on what the functions are. And lifestyle, different aspects of lifestyle impact our body clock. Ideally, the body clock should, function in a certain manner, which we will take in another session where we will go through circadian rhythm in detail. But when you do not, if these aspects are not taken, when you don't take care of these aspects, like physical activity, not doing or excessive doing at the wrong time, whatever, sleeping as far so so much stressed on sleep and food, he's stressed on timing of food, what type of food, yes, but late night snacking, the reason you'll see later why late night snacking is not at all advisable. Screen time, how much exposure to your basically your mobiles, especially TV, but more than that, mobiles, etc. Stress, all of this, which is again all part of our lifestyle, impacts our body clock. As I said, our brain has the main clock, and that is usually triggered by light. So if there is light, the brain assumes that it is daytime, irrespective of whether it is a light from the sun or your tube light or your mobile phone. Okay, and hence it doesn't go to sleep. And yes, they are connected. There are individual, clocks for every system. These clocks are either triggered by, a diet, like if you put something into your digestive system, or if you're exercising certain, your muscular system, or all of these will be triggered, right? Now, these triggers, basically, what do they impact? Now, when these inputs are given, it will trigger your circulatory system, your respiratory, your lung function, because lung is definitely a key part of your digestive system, kidneys, your muscles, as I said, and even your main clock also triggers your sleep hormone pattern, your temperature pattern, your blood pressure pattern, your everything. All of this is connected. Now, if you do not do it at the right time, imagine what happens. You're eating when you do late night snacking, whatever Farooq mentioned. What also happens is your liver is not supposed to be, your stomach is not supposed to be processing food in the night. And it will not process it. But it has to get stored somewhere. Liver ends up doing more work. Your pancreas ends up doing more work. But when you align it to the day-night cycle, okay, especially now what we will look at is all of those aspects of lifestyle. How do they impact? Now, daytime physical activity, what does it trigger? Your, central nervous system, your peripheral nervous system as well. So exercise strengthens your main clock. Your main clock is your brain, right? Outdoor activity increases exposure to bright light, which again triggers certain your aspects of your body clock. Timely exercise helps better balance of temperature, etc. Now, if you do not move, okay, what happens? Your cognitive, functions are not triggered. Your brain doesn't get activated. You may eat. What do we do? Without moving, we just eat, sit, like most of us now, forget even IT people, even non-IT people, because of the automation, because everything is so digitized, everyone is in front of either their laptop or doing the work on their mobile phones, right? But your brain will not get triggered unless you have some exercise, unless you have some movement. Okay. Today we are talking even about movement, and you'll see why a little later. Okay. What is it? Relation between sleep and your body clock. As long as there is light, sunlight actually triggers your main clock, saying that it is daytime. Please keep awake. Do not secrete melatonin. Okay, it tells your pineal gland कि भाई अभी तक रात नहीं हुई है तो सोना नहीं है तो melatonin secrete मत करो. Simple, in simple. I'm not even going to go through all of these names. As soon as you make things darker, etc., the brain starts to get that signal that, okay, it is going to be night, start secreting melatonin. Melatonin helps you sleep. That is the relation between light and darkness with your sleep. आजकल क्या हो रहा है? We are all the time in around, with light. So a delayed sleep wake cycle, irregular sleep wake rhythm, irregular sleep wake rhythm, jet lag. Jet lag we know, right? When you are actually traveling from one country to the other, where you're in different time zones, the body takes some time to actually adjust to it. So even that impacts certain things. Shift working. There are many industries where night shifts are there, but you will see that it is mandatory that you do not have prolonged night shift, because if you do, it will impact. Now, what do all of these things impact? It results in fatigue, tiredness, मूड स्विंग्स होते हैं. आप जब सुबह उठते हो, आपका मूड एकदम ही इरिटेबल, या probably you're not even feeling like doing things. Your cognitive functions, when I talk about cognitive functions, आपका alertness, your low performance, mental capabilities, वो impact होता है. Metabolic disorders. Depending cycle. So you will start getting
Veda, we can't hear you.
metabolic
I think
disorders also. Now, even now,
Hey,
are
now
you able to
it's
hear me now?
yeah. Now it's better. ठीक है. Go ahead.
I could hear you. Oh, okay. So that Raj,
नहीं अभी भी please switch off your camera. I think some voice is breaking, so you can switch off the camera.
okay, just give me a minute. I'll also switch my network. 1 second. Just a minute. I'll keep my camera switched off. I hope it will be better. Okay. There is electricity fluctuation here. ठीक है. So yeah, late night, if you sleep late, it will give you cravings. That it is, related. So here it is. When you eat at the right time, as per your day-night cycle, basically we need only three, meal slots. If you eat on time, you will not feel like snacking. Actually, If you do not eat on time, and yes, if your portions are not right, right, and you're eating at any point of time, it impacts your body clock negatively. It will even result in obesity, not just because you're eating more, but because when you're eating for multiple times in a day, your digestive system gets confused. Your digestive system is actually only literally ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, is triggered thrice in a day, not 5 times, not 10 times. But what do? We keep giving food, right? So when you do not align it with the day-night cycle and you just keep eating, or you're eating late, it actually results in metabolic disorders. Okay. And yeah. So how do you avoid late night snacking? First of all, plan your meal so that you can have a balanced meal. Okay. Where you have higher amount of protein and fiber. Usually our Indian meals are, higher amount of carbs. But uh, we are not saying don't eat carbs. Eat complex carbs, have complex carbs, but even in complex carbs, because carbs will give you instant energy, you need prolonged energy. You need your body to be digesting the food for longer and better. So you need higher amount of protein and fiber. So when you have a higher amount of protein and fiber, especially in the morning, during breakfast, you will see that you will not even feel the need or the craving to snack. Establish a routine. Try and have a discipline that agar ye time pe kha rahe ho, so that your body, you will understand whether your body is really hungry or not. Don't have erratic routines. Even if you have to go on calls, plan your meals in such a way so that you can have your meal before the calls start in the night. I know a lot of of my colleagues and friends who work late in the night because they align their time to the Western time zone. Some of them start work very early in the morning because they are aligning their work to the Eastern time zone, which is your Australia or the East Asia. Now, we know what our routine is going to be like. We know it is going to be heavy. So take your weekends to plan. Create a relaxing bedtime routine so that you fall off to sleep faster. Seeing your phone is not going to help you. Identify what are those triggers that make you snack. Now I know that, mood swings, or if someone is feeling really low, the first thing that we look for is probably to put something in our mouth. I used to feel when I used to drive long distances, I used to always have this craving of eating a lot of peanuts. कुछ तो चाहिए चबाने के लिए so that I can focus. I don't do that anymore now. Why? Because of this first step. Second, knowing that snacking is going to impact my pancreas. Knowing that snacking is also going to increase my obesity or, increase my weight. Get adequate sleep, because if you don't get enough sleep, your cognitive functions are not going to, function properly. You will be stressed throughout the day. You will be irritable. You will not be alert, etc. Right? Caffeine consumption has a huge impact. It causes heartburn. And nowadays, I don't know, today there was a big article in the Times of India on different types of coffee. It has become a trend to drink coffee. All different types. I don't know what not. It has gone beyond even the Dalgonas or whatever it is. It creates delayed onset of sleep, anxiety, and headache. I know my mom, when she gets headache, she feels like having coffee. And I had to wean her out of this whole thing that, okay, if you have a headache and you drink more coffee, it's not going to resolve it. It's probably temporarily going to help you, but it's not going to help you relieve your anxiety or your headache. Disturbed body clock. Let's see, there was actually a study done on 2 sets of people, where in fact there was coffee given, say 8 hours before sleeping. There was coffee given 6 hours. There was even 3 hours before sleeping. There was a placebo as well. Okay. What was seen that even up to 6 hours, even when coffee was taken 6 hours before bedtime, it lowered your sleep duration. That means it delayed your sleep. I used to have late night coffees just to be alert, to be on calls, etc. Now I have majority of the time, 90% of the time, I aim to have my last coffee, and that also the quantity is limited. It is very much diluted. I aim to have it no later than 4:30. Not at all. There are very rare days where I still do it and I still have to rectify that. Second thing is, don't have it first thing in the morning. Okay. Try to, in your morning routine, if you're used to having coffee or caffeine, try to, replace it with herbal tea. Herbal tea is nothing but herbs, dip or soaked in warm water, and then you have that. Try to have just warm water or just water in the morning, because that's the best thing. When you have, what I have seen, that when I increased my protein intake in the morning, my urge to have coffee or tea was delayed to 11:30. You can try that. Adjust your timings of when you're having coffee. Okay. Instead of coffee, keep something else handy, and probably, just don't refill your coffee probably once it is done. You can try that. Okay. Next, what we are going to look at is your exposure to screen time. Very, very big problem today, right? Because we are all on our mobile phones. It's not even TVs. People tend to watch, their series on Netflix, etc., on the mobile phone or on their iPads or, on their tabs. What is happening? Any light that comes, that goes through your eyes, it is telling your main clock, which is in your brain, that it is still morning. Don't sleep. As I said, it suppresses your melatonin secretion and hence keeps you awake. We feel that हम लोग scroll करते करते सो जाएंगे, नींद आ जाएगी. Trust me, when you, even if you do fall off to sleep, because and you fall off to sleep because your body is tired, your sleep will be very disturbed with a lot of, dreams, disturbing dreams, etc. You'll probably be waking up half awake. You can, all of these watches will tell you your sleep quality, and I'm sure it will not be a nice one. It will keep you alert. It impacts your memory function. I am seeing those, I've been seeing this impact on memory function since the last 6 years. My mom has dementia in her 70s. My kids and I joke. It is actually not a joke, but unfortunately we joke that I've already started forgetting things in my 40s. Attention span will reduce the next day, your reaction times, all of this. But if you don't sleep on time, you switch off your blue handsets 1 hour at least before sleep. If you can switch off 2 hours before sleeping, it's great. But 1 hour before you're supposed to sleep, say by 10:30, you're supposed to go to bed, start switching off by 10 o'clock. Okay. So that by 11, at least you fall off to sleep. Now, okay, I'm going to read this because when I was just going through this slide again today, I thought it was very important for us. This is very important because this is the major issue. Snacking in the night and being on our mobiles are the major issue. People whose melatonin levels are suppressed, यानी जो awake रहते हैं रात रात तक 2 बजे 3 बजे तक, body clocks are thrown off by excessive light exposure and are more prone to depression. Over the long term, not getting enough sleep can lead to neurotoxin buildup that make it even harder as you age to get good sleep. It also messes up with your, digestive cycle. You start snacking, okay, and you're not able to control क्योंकि और कुछ है ही नहीं करने के लिए. You will snack. Trust me. Poor night sleep caused by nighttime smartphone use can make it harder to absorb and remember new information and hence memory loss. Today, any which ways, we are not used to remembering phone numbers. We are not used to remembering anything. Everything is on my mobile. Trust me, we are going to start forgetting things much faster than what our parents and grandparents did. But with this exposure, it was going to be even faster. So very, very important, limit your screen time, enable night mode or that warm lighting. But even with that, don't think कि अगर मैंने warm lighting या night mode कर दिया, so I can still watch my phone till 12 o'clock, मैं सो जाऊंगी 12:01 को. नहीं. It doesn't work that way. but it will give you a little bit of, lesser eye irritation, etc. Take regular breaks, read a book. It's better to read a book, listen to some music, listen to a good podcast before sleeping rather than looking at your mobiles. I'll go a little quicker. I wanted to stress on those a couple of topics. Stress. Everyone is stressed out today, right? Because we are multitasking to an very greater level. There's a lot more demand probably because of the fast-paced life. Chronic stress impacts your organ clocks, your internal other clocks, your other systems also. What does it do? Internally, there is a desynchronization or mismatch between your main clock and your organ clocks because of stress. What does it actually lead to? It leads to gut health issues. It leads to mood swings. It leads to disturbed sleep. All of this is interrelated. How do you reduce stress? You have to, first of all, understand what your trigger points are. It's not easy, and hence it is always good to speak to someone, your coach, who can guide you. Exercise is the best way to reduce stress. Take and deep breathing, just simple deep breathing. Even if you don't know the different pranayams, that's okay. Just breathe deep. We forget to take deep breaths. And when you do that, when blood goes to your brain starts calming down. Take breaks, engage in some hobbies. Take break. If it's becoming too stressful, take a break for yourself. How to regulate your circadian rhythm, which is your body clock. Exercise regularly, stick to your bedtime and wake time as much as possible. Avoid caffeine from the afternoon time. Avoid screen time at least 2 hours before bedtime. I was giving you a little bit of a leeway, 1 hour before bedtime. Try focus on managing your stress and avoid late night snacking. Now I'll come to a very important topic, which is NEET. Ruchita mentioned that. Are you doing NEET? Today we have come to that stage जहां हम exercise छोड़ो, हम move भी नहीं करते, and hence we have this whole funda or this whole concept of NEET has come up. Earlier, human beings used to do a lot more movement, a lot more work because industrialization had not advanced or automation had not advanced. Now it has gone beyond automation and it's at age of digital. Imagine average activities per day has come down to 25 minutes, and hence obesity has increased. 1 out of every 4 Indians is obese. It is scary, and it is increasing the lifestyle diseases that are all related to your obesity or stress levels, etc. What is NEAT? NEAT is non-exercise, not related to exercise. We're not talking about walking, jogging, gymming, nothing, weightlifting, nothing. We are talking about non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Matlab, just the calories जो burn होने चाहिए with movement, doing the daily chores, cooking food, cleaning the house, dusting, keeping your books to properly, making your bed. Doing daily chores is what we are talking about. Taking the stairs instead of the lift, a little bit of gardening, standing instead of sitting. But you need to know how much. Okay. Now, it is simple. We all know कि जितना हम calorie, we all know that जितना हम calories खाना खाते हैं, उतना अगर expend नहीं होगा energy हमारा, तो our weight will increase. उतना ही expend होगा तो weight will remain flat. उससे ज्यादा expend होगा मतलब काम करेंगे तो weight reduce होगा. Simple. But ये जो calories कैसे expend होता है? एक हमारा metabolic rate है, अंदर body का metabolic rate है, that contributes 70%. Eat, which is exercise, contributes 5%. NEAT, which is movement, daily movements, contributes 15%. ये सब 10,000 steps. They're not talking about pace. 10,000 steps का importance कहाँ से आया? It is from NEAT. Your movement defines those 10,000 steps. Okay, so exercise is needed beyond those 10,000 steps. TEF is your thermic energy of food. Okay, thermic effect of food. जो अलग अलग खाना खाता है जिसको डाइजेशन के लिए ज्यादा टाइम लगता है, that also burns calories. What is contributing most apart from your basal metabolic rate is your NEAT. And hence meat is very, very important. Agriculture, farm work. You see farmers eating a lot of, roti, bajra, your bhakri, etc., chawal, etc., along with a lot of food, morning, afternoon, and evening. Why? Because their work is strenuous. They need all of that. हम भी उतना ही खाते हैं, लेकिन हमारा कितना जाता है work? Nothing. We are chair bound. When you're chair bound, you hardly, expend lesser than 500 calories every day. I'm sure hardly, not even 500, right? Seated work, no option of moving, it's lesser than 1,000. Look at this. This is the kind of calories that you do. How can you increase this? Can you, stand up first thing instead of sitting for long? Like today, I'm sure most of us are not switching on your cameras. I need to sit to look at this. I don't have a standing, a table that moves up and down. But can you stand and probably listen to me? Can we do that for 10 minutes, 20 minutes? Sit again after that. Get a standing desk. Do climb stairs. How much can, if you're staying on the 10th floor or the 20th floor, climb 3 stairs and then take the lift. Increase your daily steps gradually. Bring changes gradually to, increase your standing hours. I have noticed ever since I have let my maid who cooks and does, who used to do a lot of our housework, ever since I've let her go, my weight hasn't increased. My exercise is still not in place, but because my need, my standing time, my number of steps had increased, my exercise, even having, when I'm looking at it, otherwise I could put on weight very easily. Okay. Carry the groceries instead of pushing a cart, even anything that requires some effort by our body will help you expend calories. Okay, so that is the importance of NEAT. I can't stress enough how important NEAT is. We tend to, even have the remotes next to us, or we will even tell our kids to get the remote. अरे हमारा तो हक है, बड़े भाई ने छोटे भाई को बोला या बड़ी बहन ने छोटी बहन को बोला, सबसे छोटा शायद ज्यादा काम करता है. आजकल तो बच्चे भी बोलते हैं मम्मी कैन यू प्लीज गेट मी दिस एंड वी गेट देम दिस, right? Can we not do this? Can we do our own stuff? Can we get up and get our own water? पानी खत्म हो गया, जाके fill करो खुद से and पियो. Simple things, because NEAT is going to help you maintain your weight. It will in fact help you improve your digestion as well. That was the two topics. Those were the two topics for today. We encourage through this program to shine every day. Start every day with gratitude and optimism. It's becoming more challenging, more difficult. I see a lot of people, especially with the news that we see every day, with the social media posts that we see every day. I've started subscribing to newspaper, and unfortunately, you don't even see positive news in the newspaper. It is becoming difficult to actually get positivity. You have to be deliberate. We all have to be deliberate to find positivity and gratitude in our lives. Have your nutrition, because there is a gap. We are not getting the food that our grandfathers are, even our parents, what our parents got, right? Forget our forefathers. Our parents got better food than what we are doing today. We don't get fresh food, we get cold storage food. So have your nutrition, have the right supplementation. Morning nutrition is something that simple thing that you can focus on. Intentions, what are your health intentions? What are your goals? Visualize it every day, and keep it in front of you. That's how you can achieve that goal better and faster. Learn something new every day as often as you can, because till we learn, we will be active. The moment we stop learning, our brain stops understanding that it is supposed to grow, it is supposed to survive. Okay, so learn something new every day, exercise daily. Farooq says it very beautifully. Whatever nutrition you give, how much ever, you may stay positive, if you are not going to move your body, it's not going to improve your health span. It's not going to reduce your weight. by just controlling your calories is not enough through intake of food. You need to also do exercise so that you remain active till the last day. I think all of us just want that at least, right? We don't want to be dependent on our family, or we don't want that physical support to be coming till our last day. I'm sure that is the simple thing that we want, and that can be achieved if we can do all of this. I truly believe that. That's it from my side. uh, Back to you, Ruchita.
Thank you so much, Veda, for explaining that so wonderfully. I'm sure we have all understood how important it is to follow the natural body clock that we have and why it is so important to us. If we have any questions, we can just raise our hand virtually or unmute. All right. I think not. Thank you, everyone. You've been a great audience. That's all for today, and we'll see you in the next session. Good night. Stay safe. Bye-bye.